In the quiet village of Avenged, where palm trees sway like secrets in the wind, lived a woman named Efua, gentle, loyal, and deeply in love with a man named Kojo. Efua believed Kojo was her destiny, the man she had prayed for beneath the moonlight since her youth. But Kojo's heart was never as pure as his promises. One market day, whispers began to crawl through the crowd that Kojo had been seen with another woman, rich, elegant, and carrying the scent of foreign lands. Efua didn't believe it, not until she followed him one evening and saw his hands around the woman's waist, laughing, kissing as if Efua never existed. Something inside her broke that night, not loudly but quietly, like a pot cracking from heat. She didn't scream. She simply whispered, "Let truth be my revenge." Days turned into weeks. Kojo's new lover fell mysteriously ill. Her beauty faded like smoke, her laughter turned to screams, and soon she could no longer walk. Village healers were called, but none could explain it. Some said Efua had cursed her. Others said the ancestors themselves had chosen to act. Kojo ran to Efua's hut one night, his eyes red with fear. "Efua," he cried, "forgive me. Please, call back whatever spirits you've awakened." Efua looked at him calmly. "It wasn't me," she said softly. "It was the truth you buried that rose to haunt you." The next morning, Kojo was gone. Some say he fled the village, others say the forest took him. Efua never spoke of it again. But every night she lit a single lamp and whispered into the wind, "May love never blind me again." And though her heart healed slowly, her eyes always carried the weight of what revenge costs, even when justice feels divine. Kojo left the village before sunrise. No shoes, no food, no direction. The forest swallowed him like a secret. He thought he was running from Efua's anger, but he was really running from something older. The whispers of the ancestors he had awakened. By noon the air grew heavy. The birds stopped singing. Even the wind seemed to hold its breath. Kojo's heart beat like a talking drum as he stumbled upon an old shrine, forgotten, overgrown with vines but pulsing with presence. He knelt, trembling. "Ancestors," he whispered, "forgive me. I didn't mean to cause harm." But the forest did not forgive. It answered with silence, then with laughter. Soft at first, then loud, echoing as if the trees themselves mocked him. Kojo screamed, "Who's there?" But no one came. Only a woman's voice, familiar, sorrowful, whispered, "You buried love with your lies." He ran deeper, but the forest twisted around him. Every path led back to the shrine. Every sound was his own guilt calling his name. Night fell, and with it hunger. Kojo collapsed beside a river, his reflection flickering in the water. Only it wasn't his face staring back. It was Efua, weeping. Then smiling. Then fading. Kojo broke down, pounding the ground with his fists. "Efua, leave me alone." But the ancestors had already claimed his voice. He spoke, yet heard nothing. His cries vanished into the night. As dawn approached, a priest walking the forest paths found him. Motionless, trembling, eyes open but seeing nothing. The priest touched his shoulder and said softly, "The forest has judged you. But your punishment is not yet done." For 3 nights, Efua could not sleep. Every time she closed her eyes, she saw Kojo, barefoot, lost, calling her name from the shadows. The villagers whispered that Kojo had vanished in the forest of Avenged, where no one returns the same. But Efua's heart wasn't at peace. She wanted justice, not disappearance. Yet when she prayed, her tears burned like fire. The old priest visited her hut that morning. His eyes carried the silence of those who had seen too much. "Efua," he said quietly, "when you curse a soul, the ancestors listen. But when the curse is born from pain, they take more than vengeance. They balance the spirit." Efua's hands trembled. "So they've taken him?" The priest sighed. "No, my child. They've taken you both. His body may walk in the forest, but your spirit is tied to his fate." That night, Efua's hut grew cold. The air thickened with whispers, faint, sorrowful, familiar. She heard Kojo's voice again, softer now. "Efua, forgive me." Tears streamed down her face. "It's too late," she whispered. The forest already answered. Suddenly, the flame of her candle turned blue, the sign of the ancestors' presence. In that moment she saw everything. Kojo trapped in an endless circle of guilt, begging the forest for mercy, unable to escape the shrine. The ancestors spoke through the wind. Justice is not revenge. And peace is not found in pain. Efua fell to her knees. Then take me, she cried. If this is the price for love, let my soul be still. But instead of death came silence and a calm that felt like dawn. When morning broke, Efua walked toward the forest of Avenged. The villagers saw her enter the trees, but she never looked back. Some say she joined Kojo. Others say she became the forest's guardian, the spirit that whispers when hearts break in silence. The villagers said the forest was breathing again. For days the wind carried whispers that sounded like prayers, and sometimes like names. Deep within, Kojo's body wandered without rest. His eyes were open, but his soul was far away, caught between guilt and grace. Efua's spirit had followed him. Not alive, not dead, bound by the very curse her pain created. As the moon rose full, the forest changed. The shrine glowed once more, the same one Kojo had begged before. Kojo fell to his knees, tears mixing with earth. Ancestors, release me, he pleaded. Let her be free. Then the ground trembled. The trees bowed. A voice older than time filled the night. Kojo, you betrayed love, the only thing the gods gave man to resemble them. And Efua, you cursed what you once blessed. Efua's spirit appeared fully, no longer human, no longer shadow. Her voice broke the silence. Then let me pay the price. The ancestors spoke again. The forest does not destroy, it restores. The pain that bound you must now heal what it broke. Kojo reached out his hand, for the first time since death separated them. Efua took it. Their touch sparked light across the forest, like dawn breaking through darkness. Then silence. The wind stopped. The forest stilled. Even the river seemed to hold its breath. When the villagers came the next day, they found 2 sets of footprints leading to the shrine, and none returning. From that day, lovers who quarreled in Avenged made offerings at the shrine, believing the spirits of Efua and Kojo now guard love itself. Years passed, yet no one dared to enter the forest of Avenged after sunset. They said it was sacred now, not because of fear but because of love that refused to die. Children grew up hearing the story of Efua and Kojo, the lovers who angered the ancestors but were forgiven by them in the end. Some say when the wind moves through the trees at night, you can still hear their voices, whispering forgiveness. Others claim they've seen 2 fireflies dancing above the shrine whenever a broken-hearted soul prays there. Over time, the shrine became a place of healing. Lovers came not to seek revenge but to find peace. The priest, now old and nearly blind, would smile whenever he heard the wind through the trees. He would whisper, "The ancestors did not punish, they purified." And sometimes when no one watched, he'd see 2 faint figures, holding hands, glowing softly, walking deeper into the forest, never looking back. They say the ancestors turned their sorrow into a blessing, that every true love tested by pain will always find its way home. They say the ancestors turned their sorrow into a blessing, that every true love tested by pain will always find its way home. So now, when the villagers tell the story, they no longer speak of betrayal or revenge. They speak of forgiveness that even death could not silence. And as the fire fades, the storyteller always ends with a soft smile. May your love be strong enough to forgive before the ancestors remind you how. Please follow me for no reason.